Hi, this is Sridhar. Today I am going to explain you about materialized views. Materialized views can be refreshed in many ways. For example, it can be refreshed using refresh fast or refresh complete or refresh force. And still we have some more methods called never refresh, and even the materialized views can also be updated by including for update class, and all these things we will be going to discuss in the upcoming session. Now we are going to discuss about refresh complete alone. This is the main syntax for creating the metallized view. Metallized view can be create metallized view, the view name. Unlike in procedure we can use create or replace like that, but in metallized view we cannot use like that, create or replace. We have to create only, create alone, create metallized view, the view name, followed by build, whether you want to build it immediately, that is you want to build the materialized view immediately or later. Deferred means later. You can refresh the materialized view, you can populate the materialized view on the first requested refresh. Only after refreshing it will be populated. For the first time it won't be populated if you are using deferred. If you are using immediate, then the metallized view will be populated immediately. The next one is what kind of refresh you want, whether you want to refresh it fast, complete or force. Now we will see only complete, the refresh complete. So you can mention it as refresh complete, and on commit or demand, you want to refresh it on commit or on demand. On demand is by default. If you didn't specify anything, it will be refreshed only on demand. Even you can refresh the materialized view on commit also if there is any change in the base table. What is the base table? Here the materialized view can be created using the select statement, select star from the base table. This base table, once the base table got committed, if there are any DML changes happen and the metallized and the base table got committed, only on commit this metallized view will be reflected, should be reflected. In that case you can mention it as on commit, refresh complete on commit. If you didn't specify anything, then the metallized view will be refreshed only on demand. On demand means you have to explicitly refresh the metallized view by executing the statement called execute dbms underscore mview dot refresh, that we will discuss later. And refresh complete on commit with primary key or row ID. How you want to refresh it? There should be some unique ID for this metallized view. If there is any unique value, then you can mention it as primary key, with primary key. If there is no primary key for the base table and there is no primary key, then in that case you can mention it as row ID. So basically you should know about the row ID and row num, the pseudo columns, before going to this metallized view. Row ID is the unique ID which is Oracle system itself will create after creating any row into the table. After creating any row, this Oracle system itself will create the row ID. That will be unique, and it is 18 alphanumeric characters, and its unique value. And enable or disable query rewrite. If you want to rewrite the query, then you have to give it as enable, otherwise you can give it as disable. Basically this enable query rewrite is used if you are creating the metallized view for aggregate function as select star from any base table. We'll briefly explain about the clause which is included in this syntax. First one is a build clause. Build clause, whether it is immediate or deferred. Immediate means the metallized view will be populated immediately after creating the metallized view. Deferred means it won't be populated. Initially it will be null, and it will be populated only on the first requested refresh. If you are refreshing the metallized view, then at that time it will be refreshed, otherwise it won't be refreshed if you are using deferred. And the refresh types, as you know, refresh complete, refresh fast and refresh force. Refresh force, there is no separate syntax for refresh force for creating the materialized view. It will be created, the materialized view will be created either by refresh complete or by refresh fast. So if it will check whether the materialized view can be refreshed either by complete or fast. It can be done by complete means it will do refresh complete. If there are materialized view logs are available, then if this can be done through refresh fast, then refresh fast will be used. Never refresh means it won't be refreshed. If this never refresh can be included while creating the materialized view itself. So if you created this kind of never refresh, then the materialized view will not be refreshed at any point of time, even if you explicitly run the command execute dbms underscore mu dot refresh command. It won't be refreshed. And we'll be discussing much more about this never refresh in the upcoming topic. First we will discuss about the refresh complete. What is refresh complete? It is very simplest way, and it is expensive if there are more number of rows. If there are billion number of rows, and if you are using the refresh complete, then all the rows will be recreated once again. That is, all the rows will be recreated once again for if you are using refresh complete. So it will be very costly if there are more number of rows. Otherwise it is a very simple and easy way to create the materialized view using refresh complete. And how do we note that the rows are recreated or not? We can identify that whether the rows are recreated or not using by running the command select row ID followed by the column names from the materialized view. If you run this, you can easily identify whether the row ID got changed or not. Okay. And this is the main drawback in refresh complete, because each and every time if you refresh the materialized view, again the query will get executed, again it will re-execute the materialized view query to refresh it, and that's the reason it's very slow also. Let me execute one by one all the SQL queries for creating the materialized view using refresh complete. This is the simplest materialized view using refresh complete. Create. Okay. Before that, let me drop it. Okay. We are creating the materialized view. The materialized view name is MV, and what kind of refresh we are using? Refresh complete. Refresh complete means each time the row ID will be recreated. Each time the row ID will be recreated in the materialized view. Refresh complete as the select statement. The select star from the base table. In which table you want to create this materialized view? Select star from the base table here is EMP. Let me execute separately this table. Execute. These are the values present inside the employee EMP table. The employee ID and the first name. So I am creating the materialized view. Okay, done. Materialized view got created. You can select it. You can check it by selecting MV materialized view. Select star from MV is the same thing. And if you give row ID comma explicitly mention the column name as well, employee ID comma first name from the materialized view, it will give you the row ID. Row ID is unique in Oracle. For any particular row in the table, it will be unique. So if you refresh the materialized view once again, then you can check whether the materialized view was recreated or not, or whether all the rows are recreated or not. Okay, this is the value, row ID value. Let me execute the materialized view once again. Let me refresh the materialized view once again. To refresh the materialized view, you have to run this command execute dbms underscore mview dot refresh of the metallized view name within single quotes. The metallized view name is mv. Here it is mv, so the same should be written here within single quotes, and this is enough. And if you want, you can write one more thing. You can pass another input value also, comma, within single quotes you can give c. C means refresh it completely. If you want to refresh it using some other method, that is refresh fast, means you can put it as f, refresh fast. That we will discuss later. Now you want to refresh it completely, so you can give it as c. Within single quotes you can give c. So now you are going to refresh the dbms, refresh the metallized view. Whether we did any DML changes? No, we didn't do any DML changes in this metallized view. Okay, let me execute. We executed the we have refreshed the metallized view. Now again we are selecting the same, select row ID, comma, employee ID and first name from the metallized view. See, if you notice, the row ID got changed. Even though there are no changes, even though there are no DML operations performed in the base table, this metallized view MV got changed. Why? Because we have used a refresh complete. As I said, refresh complete is if you use refresh complete, it will recreate all the rows. It will recreate all the rows by default. And since we are recreating all the rows in the metallized view, the row ID values will be changed. So from the row ID only, we came to know that we are recreating all the rows. We have recreated all the rows. See the difference. The row ID, AAA, AAB, everything got changed. Even though there are no DML operations, the row ID got changed if you are using refresh complete. And let me execute the next one example. Next one is refresh complete on commit. You want to refresh the metallized view, but only on committing the base table. Let me drop this metallized view, materialized view MV. I want to create the metallized view and I want to refresh it complete on committing the base table. If you see this, you will get the error like cannot set the on commit refresh attribute for the metallized view. This is a common error we used to get it, and don't be panic if you are getting this kind of error. If you give on commit command, if you give refresh on commit, then only you will be getting this kind of error. So if you are giving this refresh complete on commit, then better use with statement, with primary key or row ID. But this is a new table and I don't have any primary key for this table, primary key setup for this table. So if there is no primary key for any table, you can give it as row ID. You know that row ID is unique, and this is a unique ID which Oracle database itself will create after creating any row. So you can give with row ID. So whenever you use refresh complete on commit, then definitely you have to use the with parameter with the primary key. If there is no primary key, you can give with row ID. Definitely row ID will be there. Okay, execute. Done. View got created. Metallized view, select it. Yeah, select statement also completed, and refresh on commit. So if there are any DML changes happen in the base table, then without refreshing the metallized view, automatically the changes will be updated in the metallized view. This is the concept. Refresh complete on commit. It means if there are any DML changes happened in the base table, then without refreshing the materialized view, automatically those changes will be affected, or those changes will be populated in the materialized view. Okay, we have created the materialized view. Sorry, the materialized view. Now let me do some DML changes. Update table name is emp, that is a base table. Emp set first name equals Govind, where employee ID equals 118. So I'm changing the guy as Govind. I'm updating. Update completed. Committing. Commit also done. You can check whether it is committed or not. In the base table, select star from emp. Yes, 118 is Govind. And I didn't refresh the materialized view. Now I didn't do the refresh the materialized view. So let me check whether the materialized view automatically populated with the updated result or not. Run. Yes. Select row ID, employee ID, first name from MV materialized view. Govind value is populated here. And the corresponding row IDs will also got changed. Definitely it will be changed, because even if there is no DML change, the row ID will get changed if you do the dbms underscore mview.refresh. So if there are any DML changes, then automatically the value also got changed. So the row ID also got changed. Okay, let me go to the next example. Build immediate and build deferred. Drop the materialized view. Build immediate is a default one, so all of you know that once you create the materialized view, automatically it will be populated with the base table. So let me give build deferred. Dropped materialized view. Yes, already dropped. Creating the materialized view, selecting row ID from the materialized view MV. See, there are no rows populated because we have given build deferred. Build deferred means the value will not be populated. The value will not be populated to the materialized view, but it will be populated on first requested refresh. Okay, let me refresh explicitly by giving execute dbms underscore mview dot refresh of materialized view, that is mv comma complete. Complete means I am doing refresh complete, so I am passing it as C, parameter C. Execute. Yeah, execution completed. Let me check once again. Yeah, got it. So this is a main thing with build immediate and build deferred. And the next one is a scheduled refresh. Before that, let me drop the materialized view. Dropped. Scheduled refresh means I am not giving refresh complete on commit, because I am not giving refresh complete on commit, and I am not going to refresh it explicitly by passing by running the command dbms underscore mview dot refresh. So both the thing I won't be doing that. Let me clear. I'm not giving refresh complete on commit. Same way, I am not explicitly running dbms underscore mview dot refresh. I am not refreshing the materialized view also. In both the case, I am not doing that, but I want to refresh the materialized view. In time. So in this case, you can refresh the materialized view using the scheduled refresh. So you can change the syntax while creating the metallized view. You know how to create the metallized view. Create metallized view, the view name. I want to refresh it as complete, refresh complete, and start with when I have to start with sysdate. Sysdate means the current date. Here you can give sysdate or sys timestamp, and next means next refresh when I want to do, at what time I want to do. Next means at what time the next refresh should happen. Here I am giving it as sysdate plus 1 means after 1 minute. After 1 minute I want to refresh it, because to see the result immediately. Sysdate plus 1 slash 1440. How we are getting 1440? Because 1440 value is we are getting by multiplying 60 minutes multiplied by 24 hours. I want to refresh it after 1 minute as the select statement. Okay, let me execute. Sorry, I think we have to remove this. Removed. Yeah, metallized view got created and it is refresh complete, and it will start now, and the next refresh is after 1 minute. Now it is 7:57, so 7:58 it will go, metallized view will be refreshed completely. Before that, let me execute. And here also, that's why I created two tabs. See, both the values are same now, that is at 7:57 p.m. both the values are same, and after 1 minute the value, there is the after 1 minute metallized view will be refreshed completely. Let me wait for 1 minute. Check it once again. Let me do, before that let me do some DML operation. 118. I did some DML operation. Commit, that is resetting the value from Govind to Guy. Reset the value. Yes, value got changed and the row ID also changed. If you see, the value is AAG, here it is triple A, AAB, AAH. Value got changed. So using this schedule refresh also, you can refresh the metallized view without explicitly giving the command mview.refresh, or including refresh complete on commit statement while creating the metallized view. Without doing these two things, we can refresh the metallized view using this scheduled refresh. The last one is the enable query rewrite. Basically, this metallized view will be created, this kind of metallized view will be created only if you are doing any aggregate kind of function in the select statement, in the base table, in the select statement of the base table. Only in this case we will be using, let me close this, we will be using this enable query rewrite only if there is any aggregate function, sum of salary or anything, aggregate function while creating in the base table, while creating the metallized view. So in this case we will be using this enable query rewrite. Let me execute. Same user, sorry, metallized view is not dropped. Drop materialized view MV, it's dropped now. Metallized view got created. Selecting, select start from MV. Got it. So the department ID followed by the sum of salary of that department. So if there are any update statements or any DML operations done